Chat, let's make it official. It's our annual tradition of streamer versus chat. It is back again after a year break because last year they changed the drafting system, which is really nice, but you couldn't alternate between clubs. Now you can. So once again, streamer versus chat is here. Chat has made their choice. You guys have elected to take control of the Colorado Rockies. That'll be your team that you make the decisions for, that you try to build up into a champion before I can with my AL team. Now, for the record, again, chat's three choices were the Rockies, the Pirates, and the Nationals. For me in the AL, my choices are the Boston Red Sox, my Boston Red Sox, the Chicago White Sox, or the Oakland Athletics. However, you might have noticed with the Rockies, they're listed 29th. I don't want chat to have any fucking excuse. So I am going to take the team that's ranked dead last at the start of this game. I will be taking control of the Chicago White Sox. This is for you, AJ Pierzynski. White Sox versus Rockies, streamer versus chat. I am very excited for this after a year away. The GM contracts can't turn it off. That's fine. Jesus Christ, this menu is bright. All the rules by default are fine. We will put everything on automatic for the moment, although honestly, the manager task can be on auto by default. And scouting. Scouting has to be on auto. So that way I'm not bouncing back and forth between the menus all the goddamn time, right? So we do try to balance responsibility while at the same time making a good amount of progress. So that is the game plan on that front. Now, there is this new feature as well, the custom game entry conditions. Tremendous for people that want to be a little bit more hands-on with their games. We do tend to do a hell of a lot of simming here and focus primarily on the playoffs. So we will be keeping this off, but I do think this is an awesome new feature. I would have loved this back in the day. Yeah, I talked about it back in the day, MLB 07. I almost broke my ankle one summer, so I had nothing to do but sit at home and play MLB The Show. Toronto Blue Jays franchise, played all 162 games. I would have loved this to play more than 1 or 2 seasons. But we are going to skip that. And we are going to start... We'll start in the regular season. I mean, obviously, real life spring training hasn't started yet, or it just started. But we'll be going for the regular season. Oh, goodness. White Sox and Rockies, though, huh? I'm okay with this. I am okay with this. Now, we do have to get some of the setup established. Again, in terms of gameplay, there's really not going to be much that we do. I did want to double check some of these just based off of once we eventually get into the playoffs, but it's going to be a while for both of us, I would imagine. I would really imagine it's going to be a while. We will put that on broadcast, though. That's fine. That works for me. And actually, we wanted to go back over to mode specific for franchise. So again, just to double check this, I think, yeah, we're free and clear. That's not too bad. Sockful, yes, it is, by the way. It is. So, good old MLB The Show. I'm so happy that this is back. Now, I said it was going to be rebuilders for both of us. Now, obviously, right now, I can't look at the normal regular season standings, but division-wise, we're both going to have it pretty rough to begin with. I could have sworn I selected don't start in spring training, but, that is okay because we do have to set up, staff contracts. What we'll do for season 1 is just leave it as it is. Whoever finishes with the worst of the 2 records this year will get the better staff. We're both trying to tank, right? Whoever finishes with the worst record between the two of us will get the first optimization for staffing at the start of next year to optimize scouts, managers, so on and so forth. So that is going to be how we approach that for season 1. Big shout out to Assassin for the follow, by the way. And of course, in terms of trades, we only go through the trade block. We'll set that up very, very soon. We're not going to worry about free agents for either of our two teams as well. The big thing to do will be to take a look at our rosters, set things up here, and we're going to try to get to that draft as soon as we possibly can. Did not mean to go down to this, but it is a new feature, the prospect promotion incentive, as primarily you take a look at, hey, who do you want to think about promoting? Obviously, no real reason to focus on this at the moment, given we haven't even set up our roster yet. So, hey, we'll get there. Top prospect list as well, we'll take a look at once the season's ready to begin. So let's start off by looking one more time at Chat's Colorado Rockies. Leading the staff, Cal Quantrill, which, yeah. Now, I think for this year, Chase Dollander as the best prospect that Chat starts with, right? You want to start him higher than single A. That's a triple A guy right there. Obviously, he could be and is one of your top 5 starting pitchers. That is a guy that you could start in triple A. You could honestly start him in double A and just try to let him dominate. Let me know what you think on that front, but no denying. Start him in the minors. A lot of people are saying double A. That's fair. Now, obviously, I'll handle some of these things should I need to. With him being in double A, he's listed as the top prospect, which, yes, he absolutely is. So, you have the top 4, 5, and 6 with Lambert. That's pretty much good to go. It's really all you need is the 6 if we do like a 6 and 6 setup. So, Antonio Senzatella can, yeah, pretty much get the drop, although he doesn't have a very high K rating. The double A affiliate is the Hartford Yard Goats, yes. So you can drop Senzatella down. Michael Prosecki, start him in double A. Ryan Feltner, you can drop down to triple. Why not? Big shout out to Max, by the way, for the 32 months. Max, thank you for that. Welcome back. That's for, man, yeah, the prospects really kind of fell off a cliff afterwards. Holy hell. That is, yep. Yep, you guys have, at least you have one solid pitching prospect, right? One really solid pitching prospect in Dollander. Otherwise, man, that's looking rough. In terms of the relievers, yeah. No reason to not add John Curtis to the 40-man. You'll have to drop somebody else off of the 40-man, which is fine. Drop Noah Davis off because it's Noah Davis. I mean, who the hell cares? But no reason to not bump up John Curtis. Mainly just to be like, hey, maybe you can get someone to trade for him if you're lucky. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Whew. This is the team. That's all I can say for you guys. We both have a long way to go in terms of making any sort of impact with either of our teams. This is going to be something. But yeah, we're going to set up these rosters as if it's the start of the season as opposed to spring training, because why the hell not? Let's get this set up over and done with now. I did not realize they were going to have just so many relievers that were just kind of hanging out. That is that's a rough go. At catcher for Chat's Rockies, I mean, Diaz and Stallings, there you go. What a 1-2 punch. You might as well play Drew Romo in double as well. and try to make that Double-A team a little bit stronger. I would say both teams have a major, major emphasis on finding success in the draft as soon as possible. Because, holy hell. At first base, now again, you guys get to decide who you end up drafting once we get there. Start thinking about these weaker positions now, because first base is definitely on that list. Oh my god. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, there's really nobody to try to optimize or anything like that. I mean, that is just rough, man. I mean, you might as well just play, like, Toglia, you could play in triple and leave Goodman. Yeah, honestly, because Toglia might improve. Like, he's not going to be the starter. It's probably your best way to go. That's rough. That's a little bit rough. Second base, Brendan Rodgers is okay. I'd say that's the best way to describe him. Obviously, we're going to have a crap load of these relievers who were on the 40-man that we can take off here. Yeah, this way you guys get a nice look at who you are starting off with here. But, yeah, might as well call up Dodgers as well. At least get him onto the 40-man, right? Big shout to B Major. Brandon, my friend, how have you been? Thank you very much for that. And I had a Juan Guerrero last year, didn't I? That really disappointed. I think that was the Red Sox series. That guy broke my damn heart. Broke my heart. But yeah, man, this is rough. Major, I am doing better, thankfully. Thank God. Third base, I mean, Ryan McMahon's a solid option. Sterling Thompson. Again, I think there's no reason for you guys to not stock up the Yard Goats this year. That's a pretty way to go about it. Can bump up Nick Kent to triple. Play Warming Bernabel, a great name, down in double as well. You could actually make the argument of playing Thompson in triple to make sure that Bernabel is getting some good reps down in double A. It's not a terrible... honestly, certain decisions like that, I would set it up as I would set up my own team, just so that we can save some time. Shout out to Aaron Shunk, but down he goes. At shortstop, finally you get, a little bit of life here for the Rockies, right? Between Tovar and Amador, that's not too bad, right? It's not too bad. Tovar definitely in the majors. Amador, no reason to play him that high up at all anytime soon. Just let him absolutely destroy worlds in double A. To be honest, you could bump up Ryan Ritter. I mean, why not? At least make him 40-man eligible. Yeah, I mean, Stovall can be in triple. I mean, that's fine. There's some rough-looking options here. There's some rough-looking options is the best way to put this. But again, there's some pieces here and there that don't look that bad. In the outfield, Fernandez, another decent option to build around. Again, no reason to rush into the majors for you guys. Put him down in double A. Let him destroy worlds. Easily the best way to go. For now, can bump up someone like Simpson. Shout out to the Cum Beast, Brad Cumbest. Is that his nickname? It should be. If it isn't, it should 100% be his nickname. In center field, I mean, Brenton Doyle. You could make the argument to play him in triple. I don't think it's the end-all, be-all. Like, he's never going to be good at the plate. But in terms of, like, a defense-first option, he's not bad. Any preference, chat, on AAA for Brenton Doyle? Play Benny Montgomery in double. Doyle can't hit. Play him in the majors. Doyle can't hit. It doesn't matter. All right. We'll leave him. We'll leave him. That is all good. Majors to help with the tanking. I mean, he's a good enough defender, though, you know? Now, obviously, your key piece, Nolan Jones, in right. You got Charlie Blackmon, Chris Bryant there. Zach Veen, let him play in double. Honestly, Zach Veen should play in triple and let Jordan Beck play in double. So, similar to shortstop, that is another position in right field where you have a couple of decent options that might be able to develop. It's just now a matter of free agency and drafting to round out the rest. We have it down to 27. Obviously, we need to drop it a little bit more than that. And we will do that very, very soon, but we can leave it that way for the rest of spring training. So a look at Chat's Rockies and how they start off. Let's take a look at my Chicago White Sox. Oh boy. Yep. This is okay. Well, this might also be painful. Now, we have put in the Cease trade to San Diego, so I do have Drew Thorpe and Iriarte as well, so two decent pieces to build around. Nobody quite as good as Dollander. But yep, this team is also going to absolutely suck. That is the only way to put it. Let's, I guess, solve the relief pitching issue first, because Jesus. Oh, man. Oh, good. Jesse Chavez is our top reliever. That's great. Oh, that's so great. Oh, that's so bad. I always love starting off a new dynasty option. Yeah, Shane Drowan, you can... I will let you leave as soon as I possibly can. This is going to be a time. That's all I can continue to say. Is just this is going to continue to be a time. Let's continue to get people off of the 40-man if we can here. So that is 3. We'll get Joe Barlow onto the 40-man. It'll be my 4th, 5, and 6 with Tanner Banks. Sorry to Tim Hill, but not really. You're not going to make it. It's 3, 4. Oh, Tukey. 5, and then a 6th option there, and then AA. We'll have 1. Can't bump up Baroa yet. That'll be 2. We'll have to sort out some of these, but for the most part, we're getting just kind of a rough idea. Got to get Jake Woodford onto the 40-man if I can. I am very intrigued to see which team somehow ends up being worse. One of us is going to have to out-tank the other. I don't know how that's going to happen, but allegedly that's going to happen. I'm going to take, honestly, the same strategy that you guys did. My best prospects, I'm putting in double for the first season, not even in triple. Let them try to develop a little bit. But congrats to Eric Fetty, who's going to make the goddamn team. Jesus. All right, you know what? I'll continue to fix this up over the next few days. I had a few more players end up on waivers, but God, this menu is bright. That's the other repeating thought, is just, God, this menu is bright. Just to take a look at position players really quickly. At catcher, outside of Chiaro, I don't have too much to build around. I feel like that's pretty fair. Corey Lee, freaking take you off the 40-man because, Jesus Christ, you're terrible. Freaking put everybody on waivers if I can. First base, Andrew Vaughn is my best option, which isn't pretty, to say the least. Got Nicky Lopez. I mean, man. They are in dead last for a reason in terms of rank, aren't they? They sure are. Jacob Gonzalez and double. In terms of firing, we're okay. I mean, you literally can't change the setting. I don't believe we have anything to worry about because we couldn't turn it off in previous years, and it worked just fine. God, I can't believe how freaking bad some of these teams are. I totally forgot I'd have access to Mike Moustakas, though. That's good. Brian Ramos, I would really not prefer to take you off of the 40-man. Let's get Rodriguez off of the 40-man. Got to get Mr. Moustakas onto the Major League roster. Let's have a few more days for these freaking waiver claims. Sheesh. Two teams struggle bussing. Out of the gates is what we're going to be looking at here. Apparently Andrew Vaughn is having good spring training, though. So, yeah, shout out to Mike Moustakas. We'll get Wes Kath in triple. Let's get Brian Ramos down to AA. Get their backup options set up as they need to do. Shortstop. Do have Colson Montgomery. I'm not going to play him in the majors in season 1 for obvious reasons. Danny Mendick, though. Mr. Mendick, you'll have fun being on the 40-man roster. What the hell is this team's 40-man roster that I am inheriting? Jesus. This is torture. Get Oscar Colas off of the 40-man. Yep. Maybe I should have picked the Red Sox, huh? Maybe. So one more look through. I got it down to 27. I'm still gonna have to redo the pitching staff here and just the total numbers overall. Shortstop, though, Mendick. We can get Shoemake. Yeah, he's fine in triple. Jordan Sprinkle can go to triple. Get Sosa down in double as well. We do have quite a few guys with C potentials on my team that I wouldn't mind getting those reps, but not a big deal. Not a big deal. Blue Jays legend Kevin Pillar. I mean, got to get him onto the 40-man, right? Got to do it. Get our options in triple. I'm going to drop you down to single, for God's sakes, out of desperation. Get Zavala in double and James Beard. And then on the right, Ortega, Colas. We're looking okay. Gonna have to send down an outfielder. But just to double check. 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't drop Shane Drowan yet. That's unfortunate. I would really, really like to get rid of him. I know he's a Rule 5 pick. I'm pretty sure I got to wait until the start of the regular season to drop him. I would love to get rid of him right now, though. So we should be good to sim to the start of the regular season. And then we will have to finalize our rosters from there. So one check just to make sure for both teams that it didn't send down anybody that we wouldn't particularly want, although I am sure it has already, it has already done that and messed up. But I think people get the gist. We're both hurting. Jackson Holliday starts off as the #1 prospect. Now, I do have a top 8 option in Colson Montgomery, which is very nice. I'm certainly not complaining about that. Oh, God, I have to keep that Rule 5 option all year, huh? That must have changed. For you guys, so we talk about the Rockies. I mean, you got Amador at 27. You know, Dollander at 39. Fernandez at 44. So it works out as to where I probably have the best high-end prospects. But you guys have the more well-rounded look in terms of your prospect pool. And it'll just be a matter, I do like, by the way, that they have the top 100 now. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I think we do start off at a pretty even playing field. And of course, now you can sort top 20 by organization, top 20 by position. It's really nice that they expanded this as you get a look there. I mean, can't necessarily disagree with that list based off of what I was seeing. Yeah, I know the Rule 5 has been that he has to be on the roster, but what I'm saying is I have the option to cut him, typically. That was my understanding, is someone saying, hey, you don't have the option to cut them anymore. If you take them, you take them, which would be interesting. I'm really surprised Dollander... I guess Amador's 20. So a little bit surprised that Dollander wasn't your top guy, but you do have Joe Rock. That's the important thing. Shout out to Joe Rock. All right, Chad, I think we are good to move on. The roster's being set. We're about as ready to go as we can be. Now, it is funny because the White Sox have jumped to 29. The Rockies have jumped all the way to 27 in terms of rankings, so I'm actually not sure who it has listed as dead last. Tigers, Royals aren't particularly great, but I have no chance in hell in the AL Central. Obviously, for the East, I mean, the Red Sox are going to get destroyed. And in the AL West, Oakland has dropped to being the worst ranked team. No real surprise there. For the NL side of things, yeah, the Nats still 28th. It's a really tough division. Who dropped? I think we did see who dropped to 29. Yeah, we did. And you guys are in a division with the Giants, the Padres, the Diamondbacks, and the Dodgers. That is an interesting aspect to all of this, is the fact that chat voted to be in the NL West, where you are going to have to deal with the Dodgers this entire time. So, you put yourself on hard mode, I think is a good way to put it, to say the absolute least. Now, as I mentioned, we try to be about as on rails as we can be through the regular season. Again, we already talked about staff contracts we're going to be, but that does bring us to each team's individual trade block and what we're going to be looking to do. Now, again, a reminder, you can add almost anything. I mean, it's a crazy amount compared to previous years of options to add to the block. If we go back and look at your roster one more time, obviously, I think you want to keep somebody like Drew Romo. The best you can hope right now is to try and move on from guys like Brendan Rodgers. If he can get you anything, you have to try. Ryan McMahon at 29 years old. If you can get anything for Ryan McMahon, you should try. Even Charlie Blackmon. There's not too much, right? Because you're not going to give up Nolan Jones. If there's any disagreement, let me know. But for the most part, you're just trying to get whatever the hell you can, right? Like even Cal Quantrill, 29 years old. No reason to not move on from him, from McMahon. Keep Tovar at 22. Marquez is 29. Move on from him if you can. Charlie Blackmon, Justin Lawrence, like anybody over the age of 25 that's not really a prospect anymore. If you can move them, you might as well try, especially if you can get rid of that Chris Bryant contract. That would be pretty good for you as well. I don't know if anybody sub 70 overall will fetch anything, but we can at least look, right? We can at least look. We'll leave it at that. So basically, if you're not a prospect, you're on the chopping block for Chat's Rockies. In terms of the ads, you can do 5. Now, in terms of the full rankings, you are good in right field. I think we'll just go with the 5 lowest. I'll do the same thing for me. The 5 designated weakest positions is what we'll do. And if there's a tie, you can choose. You got catcher and center field. You do have Romo at catcher. Center field, you only had Doyle, so probably better to go for a center fielder. And actually, that was already 5. For some reason, I was losing my mind. So there you go. Pitching, first base, left field, target positions for the Rockies here as you guys try to just recoup whatever the hell you can get. For myself, in Chicago, since trades are computer offer only, if we see someone on the trade block we're interested in, can we pursue them? Probably, maybe to the deadline, Razor. Maybe. We'll consider it. For myself, what the hell do I want to move on for? I am going to be doing the same damn thing. Let's be honest. The big question is, do I move on from Luis Roberts? He's got 3 years left after this. I don't think I have to panic and move him yet, but yeah, it might be worth it. Jimenez at 27. Not against moving him either. Moncada. It's kind of the old guard that didn't really work out. I think I do want to keep Luis Robert, at least for now. Even Andrew Vaughn at 26. I mean, he's only a 71 overall. If I can move him, I probably should. DeYoung, Michael Kopech, I mean, Chicken Tendies, even Mike Soroka. If I can move these guys, I might as well. So just highest rated dudes that don't have potential. We're both taking the strategy of just see what the hell we can get if there's any interest whatsoever. My 5 weakest positions, 29, 28, 29, 27 in right field, and then closer or reliever. I'll take closer over reliever. Can we trade with one another? Yes, but there's no way I'm going to trade with you guys right now. Not a chance. Maybe in the future. We shall see. God damn, so that's my... that's our depth chart at the moment, huh? There's a lot of red. A lot of red. All right. Well, a new season begins. Leading my rotation is Jake Woodford, the ace of the staff. Oh, my God. Oh, that bullpen. That bullpen is also not ideal. Christ, we'll look at yours in a second. You're playing with the wrong Sox. I had the choice to take the Red Sox, but I didn't want to do it. You guys have Cal Quantrill at the top of the rotation. It's not great outside of that. That is for sure. Sure, you're not using the AAA roster. I think we both are using a AAA caliber roster. And then lineup-wise for the Rockies, at least against righties, I mean, again, you guys have Nolan Jones and his band of merry men right now. That's it. I mean, you could even make an argument to put Tovar down in frickin' AAA, but I mean, he is Major League caliber. It's just you kind of want to save him from the nightmare season that you guys could be in store for. Oops. And then, yeah, the White Sox lineup. It's Luis Robert and his band of merry men. You know it's not great when Mike Moustakas has made my opening day roster in 2024. This would have been a hell of a team 5 to 10 years ago. Not so much anymore. So, got the trade block set up. We are good to get moving and to start this season. Scouting is, of course, on automatic, just because we need it to be. It hasn't even opened up yet. Big win for the Sox there. We'll just auto-fix the active roster. That's fine. Yeah, scouting is still not currently open anyway. The Reds. All right. Well, we get a trade offer early on, chat, for your Rockies, as the Reds offer Nick Martini for Daniel Bard. And Daniel Bard at this point is a 38-year-old, 70 overall reliever. They are offering Martini, who is a 33-year-old, 66 overall outfielder. I mean, you might... Here's the thing. Look at the difference in salary Granted, Bard's on an expiring deal. I don't know if you'll get a better offer to move Bard. But Chad is saying no. I probably would have taken that, but Chat's saying no. Fair enough. I did put it on automatic, but also when I went over here, I hit the X button to put it back on the manual, but it still hasn't popped up. It is what it is. I don't believe they changed scouting this year, as far as I recall. I think they expanded it a little bit, but for the most part, it's still the same. The Reds have offered you another trade. This time, it's 29-year-old closer Justin Lawrence for a 29-year-old reliever Lucas Sims. Technically, you're getting a better player. 72 overall for a 74. Sims does cost a little bit more. But, Devs, what's up, man? What's up? All right, I'm seeing conflicting takes. Conflicting takes. I mean, obviously, we're super early on in the season. Lawrence, you have a lot of contract control. Moving forward, plays better when the team's behind. Bruv, you're a closer. Lucas, ooh. He is declining a little bit. Well, stat-wise, it definitely goes to Lawrence. Sims is going to be an outright free agent at the end of the year. I mean, stopper makes more sense for someone who isn't a closer. Lawrence has definitely been better this year. What do you think? Do we throw it to a vote? I see people changing their opinions. After looking at the base numbers, we didn't even get heavy into it. All right, there we go. Chat's going to decline that as well. Chat refuses to be robbed by Cincinnati. So see, now we can look at scouting. And yeah, it basically works the same way. And we're just going to let it be. You know, it works the same way. Discovery. Now, technically, we can do positional need. At the same time, if we both leave it off, I'm not too worried about that. We could do that as we get a little bit closer down the road, I would say. Let me go to the depth chart. Just advance, because I mean, keep scouting on automatic. Actually, in fairness, we can still do positional need then. So if we look at the depth chart, actually here, let's just keep that on automatic. Go back over to the roster. You can barely read the font. I am not a huge fan of the font either. I'll give you that. So for me, I think it's still 3 positions that you cap it off at. I don't necessarily need a catcher. I kind of need a first baseman to replace Andrew Vaughn. Is there anything else that I outright need? Second base, Jacob Gonzalez. I mean, we really do need everything. But if you can get that increase in player interest, it is worth it. Center field, Samuel Zavala's there. Then on right. And let's see. I mean, obviously, I think relief pitching is going to be a big one for you guys. Taking a look at the biggest weaknesses here. You do have Drew Romo as a catcher, so I mean, you know, kind of plan on building around him still. You definitely need a first baseman to build around. Second base, you kind of need a second baseman as well. You got Sterling Thompson at third to kind of build around. Shortstop, Amador. Tovar is already there. And left, you got Fernandez in center. Doyle, but he's not that great. And then right, Nolan Jones is still there. And then obviously just pitching. That's going to be a huge thing for both of us, is pitching. So for you guys, in terms of the positional need, and again, this is just to increase player interest for negotiation's sake. You're listed dead last for first baseman, which makes sense. Second base is 23rd, if I can read correctly. Center field's 27th. And then for pitching, it makes sense for it to be pitching. as the primary focus there for you guys. If I'm not mistaken, keeping scouting on auto still saves it, and it does, because right now we're looking at AAA, because I hit the wrong damn button. So for me, top 3 areas to improve. First base is 26th. Third base, 23rd. Left field's 23rd. Yeah, we're going to go right field and then relief pitching. And hope for the best. Keep the scouting on auto from there. White Sox 4-6 to start the year. Rockies 3-7. There's going to be a whole lot of L's being taken throughout this year as the Rockies get another trade offer. I haven't gotten a single one yet. Let's see. Charlie Blackmon for Shelby Miller. 37-year-old, 72 overall outfielder, and Blackmon for the 33-year-old, 76 overall reliever, Shelby Miller. So Charlie Blackmon is in decline. Stats are declining. Has a 306 on base, a 597 OPS. Ooh. He's been bad. Shelby Miller has also been bad. He's only played in 5 innings, and he has gotten lit the fuck up. And not in a great way. The FIP is okay-ish. So, what do you guys think? Do we throw it to a vote? Shelby Miller for Nolan Jones, for Charlie Blackmon. Poop or poop? Kind of, yeah. I mean, Blackmon has been a long-time Rocky. That is true. All right, I'm not seeing much support for Shelby Miller. It is true you could get some salary shed, but there you go. That one's going to be declined as well. Can I get a trade offer now, please? Hey, thank you. That's all I had to do was ask. You just got to be polite. Chris Flexen for Joey Bart. Flexen is a 29-year-old, 67 overall starter. Joey Bart is a 27-year-old, 65 overall catcher. Oh, boy. I really don't even need Joey Bart, like, unless he's been good. And don't know if you noticed the snowflake next to him. That's not because people have been calling him a woke liberal cuck on Twitter. That's because he's been bad. He's been bad in AAA. So, sorry to Joey Bart, but I'm going to say no to that. It turns out the vast majority of our players likely don't have any trade value, chat. You guys do get another offer. Nick Martini for Kyle Freeland. They have designated Martini for assignment. They are just trying to get anything for him that they can. Freeland, first year of a 4-year deal, making $10 million. Razor Sharp noticed. Quite a few of you noticed. That is absolutely the right decision to shed the cap of Kyle Freeland. Absolutely the right choice to get rid of him. In 34 innings, he has an 8.83 ERA. He has given up 13 home runs already. And has an 8.37 FIP. You guys just got let off the hook big time to get rid of that contract. I don't know what the hell Cincy's doing to bail you guys out. But there you go. Nick Martini for Kyle Freeland. That is a fleecing. An absolute fleecing for you guys to get rid of Freeland. Holy hell. Congratulations. Chad Cool. He's a cool guy. He's not doing very well for Rafael Marchand. I'm going to say no because who gives a shit? That's just... I have yet to get a good trade offer, and I don't think that's going to change. Benintendi for the Knizner. I'll keep... Benintendi. How long are you under... Ooh! Well, I have a chance to get out of a bad contract as well. Benintendi's got 4 years left at $15 million. 647 OPS, $15 million flat for the next few years. He's a former Gold Glove winner, but that is a contract I would love to get rid of, but who I wouldn't like to get rid of is Mr. Danny Webster. Danny, welcome, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you've been well. Thank you very much for the primer. I am going to take this deal with the Rangers and send old Andrew Benintendi to Texas to get rid of a Garbo contract. Thank you very much. So we have both been blessed by the AI. Rockies get a trade offer. Again, Justin Lawrence is in demand. The deal would be for Tyler Alexander, who is worse on paper. Hasn't pitched in the majors at all. In AAA, 21 saves, 2 blind. He's been okay in AAA, but he's been pitching in AAA. And Lawrence hasn't been great, but if he's in this much of demand, Lawrence has been tragic, actually. You might as well just keep Lawrence and keep the team cost down. But yeah, that's not great. So we have arrived at June 1st. My White Sox at 18-41. Absolutely tragic. The Rockies are at 25-31. Not even dead last in their own division, having won 7 of their last 10. Why the hell are you guys doing well? The rotation. Cal Quantrill's actually done pretty well. Marquez keeping that ERA down. Dakota Hudson, not so much. You guys have actually gotten decent starting pitching. Based on like the caliber of players there, you guys have actually gotten decent starting pitching. Lineup-wise, Tovar hasn't done much. Nolan Jones is hitting 303. Diaz hitting almost 300 on the year. Brendan Rodgers hitting almost 300 on the year. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. Chris Bryant's only hitting 207. Nick Martini. Holy hell. Nick Martini loves himself some Coors Field. Shoosh. So yeah, you guys have gotten some decent hitting, some decent pitching. You're not a good team, but it certainly explains why I've been a little bit worse, I would imagine. Yeah, Michael Kopech has been tragic. Woodford's been tragic. Okay, yep. Good job, boys. I'd be mad if I wasn't trying to tank. They are crushing it right now. I have one starting pitcher with a sub-5 ERA. Let's go, boys. That's how we tank. Even Luis Roberts only hitting 258. Jesus, I don't have anybody even like super close to batting 300. Okay, well, so far, everything's been going according to plan here in Chicago. We'll see what the Rockies do over the next little bit. We're just over a month out from the draft. As my White Sox get a trade offer, John Brebbia for Ronaldo Hernandez. All catchers. Let's see. I mean, I'd shed some salary for the rest of the year. I mean, Hernandez, former Red Sox, he's not good. He exists. I mean, Brebbia's actually been kind of okay. I'm going to hold on to Brebbia. If he wasn't on an expiring deal, I'd probably look to move him. But we have a series coming up, too. All right. Chats Rockies get another. It's the same offer you declined before. Blackman for Lucas Sims, so we'll decline it again. We're all good with the first half ending. So, I believe it's our first ever head-to-head. 3 games here heading into July. And the White Sox sweep the Rockies. You're welcome, chat. Helping out your tank a little bit. Still dead last in the AL Central. You guys have now, wow, you only won like what, 4 games since we last checked? Jesus. 0-10 in your last 10. Well, good stuff there for the Rockies to remember that they're tanking. As we are just a little bit away from the draft here. Ooh. All right, I finally got an offer that I've been waiting for. It's Jimenez for Jace Peterson. Jimenez, 3 years left. Rising salary. Certainly not as promising as he once was. He has, for the most part, improved. How has he done this year? Straight 7s for an OPS. I mean, that's not bad. He's honestly not getting paid that much. What about Peterson here? 33 years old. I mean, good utility man. Not very good at the plate. So basically, this is, do I want to get out from underneath the Jimenez contract? And I got to be honest, not really. Like, he's a fine player to play in left field for now. I mean, there might be a free agent out there that I would rather have playing in the field, but I think I'm going to keep Jimenez here. I don't think I absolutely have to get rid of the guy for virtually nothing. The draft is this weekend. One day before the draft, our first draft with our new teams. 30-65 for the White Sox. And on the other side, 33-61 for the Rockies. Very, very good in terms of the tanking for both of us. You guys are currently the worst team in the National League. And surprise, surprise, I'm the worst team in the American League. We're going to keep tanking as we move forward, but it's time for that first draft.